Tom Norcross, president of King Trailers, and today we're going to do a brief walk around over the 503/554 SS SF 18-inch loaded deck height. 55 tons, 12 foot, again 18-inch loaded deck height. We'll start here at the front, talk about the glad hands. We've moved those apart, put the 7-way in the middle. We do have filters in each one of the glad hands, so we don't have issues with mud daubers, dirt, etc. The next thing you can see is the angle we have here. So you come up in perpendicular here, you'll notice that if this falls down coming off the truck, you won't lose any of your air, electric, or hydraulics. The one thing we were very cautious about is we didn't want to put undue stress on the hoses, so we literally thought about the perfect angle for this. You look back here, you see the top mounted pony motor. This is a Honda 13 horsepower IGX. What that means, 13 horsepower, commercial grade, IGX, integrated throttle, integrated choke. As you'll see when we move around, we have the ignition switch on the side right by the rest of the controls. Another thing we have here is a 2-place kingpin. This is a 12-foot 9-inch neck. Simply remove the kingpin, move it to the rear. If you have a 4-axle tractor, you want it in the front position. 3-axle tractor, steer 2 drives, you run it in the rear position. You see these plates we have here. What these are for is a lot of times these are used in conjunction with the spreader bar and flip axle. A lot of times guys won't need that when they're backhauling. They wonder where they can put their spreader bar. We have plates that bolt on right here, and at the back you simply mount your spreader bar on top of the gooseneck, so it eliminates taking up 12 foot of deck in the well. Okay, we talked about the 13 horsepower Honda again. First jump in the commercial series, IGX, no throttle, no choke. Simply come over here, hit the switch, starts, it will idle down when you don't have pressure to it. When the minute you put pressure to it, idles back up. Here we have your controls for your gooseneck height adjustment and for the frame jack, which if you look at our frame jack, one of the few things that we haven't changed, nor will we ever. This frame jack is tubular steel that runs the full width of your truck frame with these cleats going all the way around, which sit inside the truck frame. When you take this neck off and move forward and you turn, that neck isn't going to shift. No reason to use a 4x4, 6x6. Most superior frame jack in the industry. Move back here, you'll see we've gone standard with LED work lights. We put the toggle switch right there. Everything conveniently located for the operator, all in one place. No reaching over duals, no reaching over anything else. Right here, easy and convenient. One thing I really want to drive home is our gooseneck lock. Our rear pin, this is where you lock and unlock it. The one thing that the biggest misconception is you have to back the neck in before dropping this pin. Absolutely untrue. When the driver has the neck off, the moment he gets out of the truck, throw this air lock pin down here at the rear. That pin is angled, it will follow the trough, go back and automatically lock. I've heard for years that's not the way it's done, and it absolutely is. We're one of the few trailers in the industry where you simply throw the pin down, let it ride into the V-trough, and then self-lock. Okay, let's focus on the side of the gooseneck here. One nice thing about ours, we use 8-inch cylinders for lifting, one on each side. They are inside of the base of the gooseneck and protected. We don't run any cylinders up top. The next thing you'll notice is our air and electric is recessed into the side of the gooseneck. You simply line up the detent, push in, pull out. You can't reverse these. One is male, one is female. Again, line up the detent, re-secure it, turn it, this can never come out. Another feature we've added is spring-assisted front ramps. Very easy to flip over, flip back. Instead of your 3 grouser bars here, we've put 5. Very critical area where you come on. Here we've also boxed this in. As everybody knows, when you come on the front of this with track equipment, you're going to roll that upper flange. Here we've boxed this, integrated the flag holder, drain hole, Grody micro nova light, all self-contained, very structural. We briefly mentioned the LED lights. We're now standard with those. Toggle switch right here. The gooseneck is off. The driver can safely work at night, see what he's doing. If you're hauling a rotomill or something up over the gooseneck, simply lay him down out of the way. Again, another standard feature with our complete Signature Series lineup. We have the 5-position ratchet, so multiple ride height, and then our locking pin here, as you can see. Okay, we'll move into the deck area. The first thing you'll notice is we have full depth outriggers running from the upper flange to the lower flange. They're held in with keepers. The reason we do that is nobody wants these popping out going down the road. You simply lift, turn it back in, lock it back in place. We have the bent D-rings. They come up and hug the upper flange. Here you can see we also have 13 pair of chain slots. We make every trailer from flat steel, cut our own webs and flanges. What we do is this will accept 3/8 and 1/2 inch chain. It's that tight of tolerance. Also take a 4-inch strap right there. If you look here, you'll see the top of these carriage bolts. We only have one row of floor screws in our complete 26-foot deck. We use carriage bolts, clips underneath. Makes it much easier, much more efficient when trading out the deck. You'll also notice we use 2-inch apatong, so it's a full 2-inch thick apatong decking. No one uses any thicker decking in the industry. Okay, here we are at the rear of the trailer. We've got our bucket well here. It's 8 foot, recessed all the way down. Again, pierced steel plating welded to the bottom of the lower flange here when it's in the rollover. We use a 1/2-inch dog bone design for increased structural integrity without taking any height away from the bucket well here. We go back into the boom trough. You can see we've got a custom boom trough where we've lowered this from the deck to the subframe connection. Moving back, you can see that we use doubler plates back into the subframe area. We use deep depressed cross members, and we also stick our air tank, which is a high volume air tank, below the depressed cross member, keeps it out of the way. Another thing we've got is our 3-piece load bearing wheel covers. They're a bolt-on design, not weld-on. So again, everything back here is user-friendly. If you've got a large excavator, you're trying to get the stick down, bury it into the well, 18-inch loaded deck height with a fully recessed bucket well and boom trough, takes any height issues you might have completely out of play. Okay, here we are at the rear of the trailer, what I like to call the money maker. This is where we put a lot of time and a lot of thought, because after 32 years in the industry, what I've heard is we want a trailer that is durable, functional, and easy to maintain, and this is what we gave you. Right back here, every trailer we build has the built-in strobes with it. Right here is your switch for your strobes. This trailer here is designed to take an additional axle, all the air, all the electric, it's right here, 4 bolts. You simply take that out, you can get to all the air, all the electric. We've covered this to keep it dry from moisture, make sure it works when you need it. Another thing we've done is we put in the other 4-bolt panel here. We've changed our manual raise and lower valve to where you turn on the manual raise and lower, but we no longer have the aluminum handle that you increase or decrease the pressure with. We've gone with the push-pull. You simply push down to decrease the air, pull up to increase the air. Always goes back to the neutral position, so even when this is left on, it can't overfill the bags, causing suspension damage, pulling your airbags apart, pulling the shocks apart, breaking the shock mounts. Simply put that back into the neutral position. It defaults to the leveling valve. Here's our 3rd axle lift. Once you engage the 3rd axle lift, we operate on a completely different leveling valve. It adds another inch of air height into the front 2 airbags, giving you additional lift so you're not scraping and scrubbing. Here, if a person wants to add an airway scale, one of our more popular options, it's already cut out. If you want to add a 4-way plug, right underneath this plate. This decal tells a really big story. Right there, we have color-coded airlines, the only one in the industry. You can't do it wrong. It's like setting up your home computer. Blue to blue, black to black, orange to orange. Again, very user-friendly for the driver, extremely easy for your maintenance people. Tuck down underneath. Nothing goes above the upper flange. You're not going to hit it with the excavator. You're not going to do any damage here. The easiest, most user-friendly trailer in the industry, bar none. Another thing we've done, 3 clearance lights right here. When you hit the brakes, those are dual intensity. They become much brighter. Another thing that has escaped me for almost 30 years is the beehive lights here at the rear. Many of our customers said, why don't you put a beehive light there? We asked them why, and they said, so my driver can easily see the rear of the trailer. Just another thing that we've done that a customer asked for because it makes sense. So bring us your ideas. We're not done evolving. If there's a good idea left out there and you bring it to us, you can rest assured it'll be implemented within the next 3 months. We want to build the trailer that the public's asking for, that the owner operators are asking for, so you can do your job efficiently and safely. That's our goal.